Okay. I think we're recording na. Good morning, everyone. Uh, let's start with some announcements. Okay. Nakikita niyo. Oops. Ba yan? Okay. Um, siguro gusto ko lang i-reiterate itong ilang mga bagay pagdating sa announcement ko for your uh midterms. Okay. For your midterms, it will be held online, definitely, on July 25 to July 26. So mag-open yung exam on July 25, 8 a.m. Tapos magko-close siya ng July 26, 6 p.m. So you have 2 days, parang ganun, 2 working days para sagutan yung exam. Hmm. Weekend naman din yung 26 just in case merong magsabi na busy sila sa weekday. Pero at least meron din kayong gabi ng Friday para gawin yun. Okay. Hindi ko sasabihin kung ilan yung number of items, pero ang ilang sa mga bagay na ni-reveal ko, definitely there will be multiple choice questions. Tapos, the time limit is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Um, Madali lang yung exam, actually. Madali lang yung exam as long as kayo ay nag-aral. Ang gusto ko lang ipaalala sa inyo ay since I've already posted yung mga technical requirements as early as now, I hope you can secure yung mga machines na kakailanganin ninyo. So kung may mga laptops kayo na may camera, walang problema. Hindi nyo kailangan ng compilers at interpreters kasi bawal kayong gumamit nun. Bawal kayong gumamit ng yung mga IDE, yung mga ginagamit nyo pang program during the exam kasi um, yeah, basically exam siya eh. Ba't kayo gagamit ng ibang mga bagay? Tapos, kailangan naka-open yung cameras kasi as mentioned, we're going to use Proctoring Pro. Um, ang Proctoring Pro ay available sa Moodle natin and sa may portal natin. So, pwede siyang gamitin. It has been approved by UPOU. Ganun din sa Dean natin. I've talked with our Dean about it. Um, kasi there are some students who have concerns, pero okay naman. In-approve naman ni Dean. Pero ito lang yung crucial. Please make sure na i-follow nyo to. Ang exam ay hindi open notes. Alright? Hindi siya open notes. Bawal kayo gumamit ng interpreters or compilers during the exam. So there will be programming questions, definitely. And then, sa mga programming questions na yun, you're going to trace them. And then, check natin kung ano yung final output. It will be easy to do that if i-code ninyo and then execute, kuha nyo kaagad yung output. Pero syempre, paano natin matitest yung inyong tracing capabilities if you are going to use interpreters and compilers? So, interpreters and compilers in any form are not allowed. Tapos, meron kayong kailangan na i-agree na terms. Ang mga terms na i-agree nyo lang naman is yung usage ng webcam as well as yung some other policies in order for you to take the exam. Ang ang examination platform to be used ay MyPortal. So sa MyPortal lang din kayo mag-e-exam. For sure nakapag-conduct na rin naman kayo ng mga quizzes before sa MyPortal. Nag-open kayo ng quiz, sinagutan niyo yung quiz, and then you submitted the quiz. Same thing, ganun lang din. Doon kayo mag-a-answer mismo sa MyPortal. So there are no external, what do you call this, external websites that you're going to open. Wala. Lahat ay nasa My Portal. Even Proctoring Pro, nasa My Portal din yan. Yun nga lang, tawag dito, ang Proctoring Pro uh, detects suspicious activity, potentially suspicious activity, pero hindi naman necessary na pag na-flag niya as potential suspicious activity, ay suspicious activity na yun. So, I will still make the final judgment. I'm going to review kung ano man yung maka-capture ni Proctoring Pro. Pero be aware lang na yun, magta-try siya mag-capture ng suspicious activity. So you have to open your cameras at all times. Kasi isa sa mga ide-detect niya ay kung binablock niyo ba yung camera. For sure, para sa akin, suspicious activity na yon. Kasi bakit may bablock yung camera? Nagtitake ka ng exam. Okay? So avoid unnecessary movements. Do not block your cameras and make sure na you're taking the exam promptly. Ito, do not copy paste. Any suspicious activity done within your computers, like kunyari nag-change kayo ng tab, nagre-resize kayo ng window, nagka-copy paste kayo, nag-alt tab kayo kasi po nagpapalit kayo ng window, ganun, dinedetect niya. Gumagamit kayo ng ibang software na hindi niyo dapat gamitin, dinedetect niya. So, I suggest, ang gawin niyo lang setup ay, okay, you have your laptop, di ba? You have your computer, nandyan yung webcam, naka-on. Ayun lang, naka-open lang yung My Portal. You take the exam, you can have blank scratch papers. Okay, bawal yung physical notes. And then you can use the scratch papers to do scratch work in case you need it throughout the exam. Definitely you're going to need it kasi sabi ko nga may tracing. Kunyari, may loop kayo. Ano yung final output? Ganun. Mga ganun tipong questions lang. So, yung mga tracing na ginawa natin from last time, it will come in handy. Okay? Aha. And then, gusto ko lang ito i-stress. Kasi usually, pag nagki-quiz siguro kayo sa may portal, nalalaman nyo na kaagad yung scores ninyo. Sa atin, hindi muna. I-hold off ko muna yung scores. Malalaman nyo lang kapag nag-close na yung exam. Okay? So, okay. Anong ginamit ko sa Moodle for your exam? Yung quiz module lang. So, yung quiz module lang. There are several na pwedeng gawin doon. Pwedeng multiple choice, pwedeng fill in the blanks. Quiz module lang yung ginamit ko. So, i-open nyo lang yung My Portal, open nyo yung midterm exam, and then answer everything in My Portal. So, um, again, don't worry. I made sure na doable yung exam within the given amount of time. I'm actually quite amazed din personally how easy the exam is. Pero syempre, that's from my perspective. Iba pa rin naman yung magiging perspective niyo. Pero I hope you'll study well. You'll study your notes. One thing I'll assure is that I haven't given anything na wala sa handouts and wala sa mga sasabi ko dito sa Zoom. So, lahat naman na nakalagay doon is either nasa handouts or na-mention ko during our Zoom sessions. Okay. There's a question here. Do we still have to download no, no. You don't have to. Uh, ang Proctoring Pro ay hindi nyo ida-download. Ang Proctoring Pro ay nasa My Portal na. Naka-install na sa My Portal. Ako yung nag-set nun. Okay. All you need to do is open My Portal, open the exam, answer it. Ganun lang. Since this is an exam, one thing that I want to stress out then is that you only have one attempt. Kasi sa My Portal, you can have several attempts sa mga quizzes, di ba? So you only have one attempt. So make that attempt count. Okay? I think yun lang naman. Tapos, meron pa akong ilang mga pinangsasabi dito. Like, ano ba yung minomonitor talaga ng Proctoring Pro? Eto. Okay. Huwag kayong matakot. Okay. Number one, if you're concerned about data privacy, secured yung data nyo, ako lang makakita, and I'll make sure na ang boundaries lang natin is within the course. So after MMS 141, we're going to destroy everything. Okay? So wala tayong makikip dito na data ninyo. And then just imagine it as an automated proctoring as an automated proctor. Not a real person, pero someone who flags potential suspicious activities. Pero subject for review. As I mentioned kanina, i-review ko yan lahat. So hindi naman ako basta-basta maniniwala sa kanya. Kailangan makita ko muna din for myself. Pero definitely, yung mga logs niya minsan, nilalog niya yung nag-copy paste ka ganitong oras. Definitely, maniniwala na ako doon. Kasi syempre, ano yun internals yun sa computer and it's something na hindi ko naman mapapansin, makikita kasi hindi ko naman kayo naobserbahan. Pero it's something na automatic ay detect niya. Okay? So, make sure to avoid those things na lang. So, pakitignan na lang to, yung mga bagay na to. Okay? Para hindi kayo ma-flag as suspicious. Which one do you prefer, sir? Physical notepad or digital note for tracing? I suggest um, anything apart from your laptop that you're going to use for the exam. So what do I mean by that? Meron kayong physical paper, okay? Pwede yon. Ay, hindi, sige, let's leave it at that. Physical paper lang. Ganun lang, doon lang kayo mag-trace. Pero kung yayamanin kayo, tapos may mga tablets kayo, pwede naman. Pero just be honest. Please, just be honest na huwag kayong open notes. Kasi pati si Proctoring Pro, pag napapansin na matagal kayo nakayuko, hindi kayo tumitingin sa exam, wala kayong masyadong progression sa exam, ki-questionin niya kayo. So, ilalog niya yon tapos it's up for my review. Titignan ko kung suspicious nga ba, ganun. Um, yeah. Tawag dito, ito lang yung isa sa mga kakaibang, this is my first time to hold an exam like this. And it's scary. Actually, sa totoo lang, it's scary. Kasi kung isang room lang tayo, di ba, nakikita natin yung sa PISA, nade-detect natin kung meron talagang siniseryoso yung exam nila o hindi. Pero, um, I don't want to say that this is the future, pero it might be. But nevertheless, um, ang gusto ko lang i-stress out ay, sabi ko sa start, di ba, UP students kayo, honor, excellence, service. So, honor and excellence, naka-end yun lahat. Kung tatandaan niyo yung logical operator natin, di ba? Pag naka-end, ibig sabihin, all of the conditions should be true in order for it to be true. So, okay, nag-e-excel ka nga, graduate ka with laude, pero kung nandaya ka naman, yun yung problema doon. Kaya sabi ko nga sa mga estudyante ko before, galit tayo sa corrupt, pero di natin na-realize tayo ay corrupt din. So, tawag dito, nagduruan pa yung dalawang magnanakaw basically. Anyways, I believe naman and I will put my quote-unquote faith sa inyo na please pakisagutan ng maayos yung exam. Be honest. Hindi naman nagmamatter yung mga laude. Well, nagmamatter yun, sasaya mga magulang ninyo. Pero at the end of the day, kung if you haven't developed the skills just because you relied too much on, I don't know, then wala rin. Yeah, it will be useless afterwards even if you graduate. Okay? So, sorry kung nagmukhang guilt tripping pero please, yun lang ang pakiusap ko sa inyo. Answer the exam truthfully, honestly. And then, I'll assure everyone that I will be fair din sa evaluation ko nung makakapture ni Proctoring Pro. Hindi porket na may sinabi na nagwa-wonder yung ulo ay i-flag ko na kagad as cheating. I'll be fair din. Okay. Other than that, additional announcements. For your exercise number 3 na yung checkan kasi kaka-deadline lang natin nung Monday. supposedly, if we follow yung trend natin, submission Friday, i-check ko on or before Friday next week. I actually have tutors this trimester kasi 300 students kayo. So, ang tutors ko will be checking exercises 3, 4, and 5. They will be checking that. Ongoing yung sa exercise 3. So, nag-set ako ng deadline sa kanya ng Wednesday next week. So, probably Wednesday next week ko mababalik yung scores ninyo for exercise number 3. So, abang-abang lang. For sure, uh, I'm going to return those scores as soon as possible. Tapos, last announcement, I'm still trying to figure this out. Pero, there's a component there sa my portal na kung saan um, pwede na makompute yung scores ninyo automatically tapos magbibigay na siya ng final grade. I'm still exploring that. Pero I think na-figure out ko na. So, I'm still cross-checking with my spreadsheet. So, check lang natin, tingnan natin kung tama yung magiging computation. Pero I think tama naman na rin. So, makikita nyo naman kaagad supposedly sa inyong My Portal kung ano yung magiging final grade niyo as we put in additional scores from your other exercises and other exams. Okay. Yun lang naman. Pero again, just to remind everyone, uh, for me, madali lang ang exam. For sure, may multiple choice doon. And nothing outrageous. Walang very technical yung course na to, very objective. So, ganun lang. You give me what I want, you give me the correct answer, yun yung tamang answer. So, nothing subjective here. So, all you need to do is just review your notes na binigay ko sa inyo sa handout. Yun lang din naman yung magiging contents ng exam. Okay. So, with that said, let's proceed with unless may questions pa. Oops. Mali na buksan ko. Okay. Are there any questions pa? If not about the exam, at least about our topic so far. Sure, wala? Okay. So, sige. Uh, Sir, functions po ulit, more samples. Yeah, actually, we're going to discuss functions ulit. Uh, Desktop demos. Okay. Okay. Um, Karoon tayo ng ng I guess something similar sa inyong exercise. Let's have a main function. So, let's have def main. Okay. Tapos, sabi ko sa inyo, ang main function is like the command center of your program. In Python, it's not really required. But in programming languages like C, like Java, required yung main function. Kasi sabi ko parang siya yung central command na dito nangyayari yung mga main processes. And then if there are other processes na kung saan kinikater to ng mga different functions other than the main function, ang ginagawa ng main function ay tawag dito, tinatawag nila. Tinatawag nila yung isa't isa. Lori, I'll go to that later. Okay. So, siguro magkaroon tayo ng main function. Tapos, within main function, gawa tayo ng simple menu lang. Simple menu. Menu. Tapos, ano bang magandang menu sa main function? Hmm. Siguro, as name. Tapos, uh, as age. Ganyan. Tapos, karoon tayo ng Exit na. So, pangit naman ng example na to. Ano magandang example? Hindi. Ganito gawin natin. As data. As user data. Tapos print data. Yan. Yan gawin natin. So, as mentioned, we don't have to, oops, hindi ko pa na-save. We don't have to finish everything before we check out kung tama na ba yung ginagawa natin. Okay? Okay. Ang missing dito ay yung function call. Kasi we have a main function and yet hindi naman natin siya tinawag. Okay. Alright? So, meron tayong main function. Okay, yan yung contents niya. So, tinawag natin si main. So, by the time na napunta na dito yung compiler natin or yung interpreter natin, nakita niya, oh, function call main. Tatawagin niya si main function, then execute every instruction under the main function. Actually, pwede pa natin itong i-modularize. Pwede tayo magkaroon ng menu. Menu, okay. Menu function, tapos ito yung laman ni menu function. Tapos, tatawagin ni main function si menu. Okay? So, ang nangyari dito ngayon is that, okay, function, oh, nakita ng program natin, main. Function call siya. So, pupunta siya ngayon dito kay main function. Gagawin niya ang lahat ng contents ni main function. Within the main function, nakita niya na, okay, meron pang isa pang function call, si menu. So, pupunta siya ngayon kay function menu, tapos gagawin niya ang lahat ng contents ni menu. Ganon. So, kung irara natin to, ayan. Di ba? So, kinol si main, within main, kinol si menu, tapos gagawin ang contents ni menu. Okay. So, ano yung idea sana dito? Meron tayong choice na variable. Okay. Choice is equal to 0. Or rather, ba't pa kailangan natin gawing choice is equal to 0? Gawin na lang natin choice is equal to menu. Para dito, pwedeng mag-print ng choice si user. Okay. Gawin natin ay I is equal to input, tapos, ano ba yun? Enter choice. Tapos, ang gagawin natin ay i-return natin si I. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pagdating kay main function, siguro for clarity, naglagay tayo ng divisions dito. Comment divisions. Para makita ninyo yung separation ng mga bagay-bagay. Okay. Print natin si choice. Alright. Sige, just to be sure. Okay. Alright. Okay, ano nangyari dito? Okay, menu function, main function, tapos nakita niya si main function call. Pagkakita niya kay main function call, pupunta siya dito kay main function. Gagawin niya ang lahat ng instructions within the main function. Nakita niya choice is equal to menu. So, menu is a function call. So, pagdating kay menu function, gagawin niya ang lahat ng instructions within the menu function. Print this, and then meron tayong input. So, yung value ng input, inassign natin kay variable I. And then, ni-return natin si I. Sa mga functions kasi natin, your functions can either return a value or not based on the handouts, di ba? So, dito, si main function, wala siyang nire-return. Pero ito si menu function, may nire-return siya. So, itong ni-return na value ni menu function will be assigned dito sa function call niya. So pag nag-return I tayo dito, within the menu function, the value that was returned will be the value of the function call menu. That's why nung inassign natin si menu na function call kay choice, and then later on pinrate natin si choice, 'di ba? Ang lumabas ay yung value na in-enter natin. Okay? So itong part na to ng code natin, printing the menu, putting a value doon sa choice ng user, happen within the menu function. Pero yun nga lang, nag-return I tayo, and then yung value ni I, na-assign kay choice, kaya nung pinrate natin si choice, lumabas yung value na inassign natin. Okay? Questions so far? Alright. Okay, sige. Okay. So, pwede tayo mag-match dito. Match choice. Tapos, meron tayong case 1. Meron tayong case 2. And then, meron tayong case 3. Tapos, meron din tayong case underscore for the default. Print error. Choice is not in options. Okay? And then, for case 3, dito tayo ngayon sa goodbye. So, ito na lang gagawin natin, si case 2 tsaka si case 1. Pero again, just to check, tama ba ang mga bagay-bagay? Oops. Okay. Okay. Ayaw niya ng ano. Case 1. Case 2. Okay. Check lang. Case 1, case 2, goodbye, and then error, choice is not in options. 6, error, choice is not in options. Lagay tayo dito ng backslash n para malinis. Okay. Alright, case 1. As user data. So, gawa tayo ng bagong gawa tayo ng bagong function. Def data. Yan. Tapos, ang gawin natin ay let's what do you call this? Let's simulate yung yung maraming pwedeng maging approach dito. Kasi one approach is you can have variables here. You can have variables here like kunyari name tapos age. Yan. Itong mga variables na to, they are local to the main function. And we can, let's say, assign, tawag dito, parameters, na kung saan this is for the name, this is for the age. Tapos ang mangyayari ay malalagyan sila ng value. Pwede sila malagyan ng value. Pero I don't think this is the appropriate problem for it. I mean, looking at this, hindi tayo makakalagay ng parameters sa kanila. But what we can do is something like, hindi. Kailangan tayo gumamit ng list dito, kaya ng dictionary. Limitation pa siya kasi dalawang data yung gusto nating malaman. Sige, i-limit na muna natin. Isang data lang. Name lang yung gusto nating hingiin. Okay. Kasi if multiple data, it's either you should package it as a dictionary or list. Pero kasi hindi pa siya part ng exercise na to eh. So siguro enter name lang tayo. So, instead na as user data, as name na lang. As name, print name. Sayang. Anyway, siguro i-improve natin to next time once na natutunan na natin yung list tsaka yung dictionaries para makapag-create tayo ng okay, multiple data yung pwede nating hindi. Actually, hindi, sige. Parang gusto ko na rin i-discuss yung list. Pero wag muna. Baka malito kayo kasi hindi siya part ng exam. Hanggang functions lang tayo sa exam. Hanggang topic 4 lang. So, sige. Next time na yung ano. Return lang natin si name. Tapos, pwede na tayo dito, N na lang. N. Tapos, pwede tayo magkaroon dito ng name is equal to data. Ganyan. Tapos, pwede naman dito ngayon ay piprint lang natin si name. Okay. Kaso, I think magkaka-problem to. Kasi pag nag-print ka, yun yung problem. Pero pag nag-ask name ka, okay, mag-i-end na siya. Ayoko ipakita sa inyo yung bonus. Ayoko ipakita yung bonus. Ang idea ko sana dito, maglo-loop back siya. Para pag nag-loop back siya, maka-capture na yung name. Pero ang dilemma, yun yung bonus sa exercise number 4 nyo. Siguro I'll hold off na lang muna doon. Enter age na lang. Ang dami nagbago. Okay. Yes, Bernadette.
Yes, sir. Sir, question po. Is there a way to make this easier? Kasi before po sa mga loops, meron kayong guideline na that I always follow, yung identify user input, tapos conditions, then classify. So in terms of functions, to make it more uh,
Sa, okay.
pangmasa.
Sa functions, hindi siya ganun ka-clear cut kasi. Unlike sa loops. Sa functions kasi, usually, okay, you have a very long code. You have a very long code. But upon observing the code that you have, you can observe na pwede mo siyang putulin into snippets, into sections. Like kunyari dito, ano ba yung sections nito? Ang sections nito ay yung menu, okay? And then yung sections nito is yung kada case sa menu ninyo. So with those sections that you've identified, you can create individual functions for them. I-analyze natin yung inyong exercise. Pagdating sa exercise ninyo, okay, oops, topic number 4. Okay, pagdating sa exercise ninyo, okay, ito ay mga certain portions ng code, okay, na pwede nyong gawa ng function. Kasi these are code blocks na kung saan, okay, ask for two numbers and then add. Ask for two numbers and then subtract. Ask for two numbers and then multiply. Ask for two numbers and then divide. Diba? You can further break that down na, okay, baka pwede ko rin gawa ng function si ask ng two numbers and then return the two numbers and then saka ko gagawa ng saka ko i-implement yung operation. So to answer your question, walang clear-cut way. But just think of it as you have your code, you need to chop off your code into manageable blocks. And then yung block na yun yung gagawan mo na ngayon ng function. Something like that. So wala talaga siyang rules about it. There are a lot of ways to go about a certain problem. Pero yun, syempre nag-release tayo ng ilang guidelines. So dito, sure kayo that you have 4 functions. And a fifth one para sa main function. Okay, so going back, nagbago na. But for sure, after exercise number 4, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung bonus. Kasi in order for me to do this, kailangan kong anyways. Now for the next function, it's pretty similar to the ones before it. Enter age lang. Tapos, return A. Actually, pwede natin siyang gawing ganito na kaagad. Print natin si name. Technically, parehas lang naman yung ginagawa ni data tsaka ni age. Age fxn. Name fxn. So, papalitan natin yung pangalan nito. It's gonna be name fxn. And for the second one, it's going to be this is age. Print natin si age. And then this is going to be age fxn. Pwede natin siyang gawing ganito. I-print na natin diretso to. Since the function call holds the value returned by the function, you can print it directly para hindi siya magkaroon ng hindi naman. Depende na yun kung gusto nyo. LK. Yan. Or enter age. Balik. Enter age. Age ay 78. Pin rate niya 78. So yeah, ganito ko siya chinap. Basically. Ganito ko siya chinap. Going back to the question earlier, that actually begs the question what is too much pagdating sa pag-chop mo and what is not too much? Kasi pwede din natin itong i-chop actually na this is another function. Tapos, so another function is calling another function. So what is just right? Parang ganon. I'm not going to score, hindi ko na yung judge sa mga submissions ninyo. Basta ako, ang pinaka-guideline ko lang is that meron akong mga required functions na dapat makita ko. And they should be present there. Okay. Let's have a different example na nag-utilize ng parameters. So, kunyari, meron tayo ditong num1 input. I think demo ko na yata itong bahagya. Ito, demo ko na pala siya. The demo. Okay. Input, enter num1. Tapos let's have similar enter num2. Okay. Tapos print natin yung values ni palitan ko na lang x and then y. Enter x and then enter y. Okay. Tapos x equals x, y equals y. Gawin na natin equals. Okay. So, and then call natin si main function. Oops. What happened? Kulang naman. Kulang ng closing parenthesis. Okay. 1, 2, x is 1, y is 2. All right. Let's create a function swap. Okay. Tapos, ang gagamitin naman natin ay a and b. According to the handout, itong mga variables na nasa ating function definition, these are called formal parameters. Okay? Formal parameters. All right? While, ito namang mga variables or parameters na ilalagay natin within the what do you call this? Within the function call, ito naman yung tinatawag natin na actual parameters. Okay? Now, try lang natin kung gagana yun dito. Try natin kung gagana yung swapping dito. Kasi in C, we have this notion of pass by value and pass by reference. So I'm not sure if there is pass by reference in Python. I don't think there is pass by reference in Python. Yeah. Pero yeah, I think this is not a good example here. I'll just change the example. Ano kaya magandang example? I think what I did last time is maximization na lang. Sige, max na lang. Sige. Babalikan natin kung anong sinimulan kong example kanina na next time. So, max ng xy. Dito, gagawin natin ay if a is greater than b, okay, mag-return tayo instead of print. Return a. Oops. Elif b is an a greater than return b. Else return return 0. Pwede siguro yan. Tapos print lang natin. 0 meaning, ibig sabihin equal sila. Parang ganun. Pwede yun yung magiging ibig sabihin nito. 0. Pero kasi 0 is the value eh. Pwede siguro natin false. Oops. I think ayaw niya ng hindi numerical value. Or return null. None pala, none. Return none. Yeah. None na lang. Big sabihin, wala sa kanila yung maximum value. Alright. Simple program for getting the maximum value. So, ano bang gusto kong i-discuss dito? Ang gusto kong i-discuss dito is that itong x tsaka y na to, they are what you call local variables for the main function. So, local variables are variables that were declared within a particular function. So, any variable na na-declare, ginamit ninyo within a particular function, they are local to that function. So, itong x tsaka y na to, they are local kay main. While on the other hand, pagdating kay max, itong a tsaka b, they are local to the max function naman. Ngayon, what happened here, dito sa ating, what you call this, function call, is that yung local variables ni main function, yung values nila gusto nating ipasa doon sa ating max na function. So that's why, pagka-call natin kay max, diba, you have xy kung ilan yung parameters as declared dito sa function definition nung function na kinocall natin, ganun din dapat karami yung mga variables na ilalagay natin sa function call natin. So you have two variables here kay function definition. Definitely, you should have two variables here kay function call. So what will happen here is that once the max function is called, itong values ni x tsaka ni y ay maipapasa kay a tsaka kay b. So ito ngayong si x, ang value niya mapupunta kay a. Ito si y, ang value niya mapupunta kay b. So nag-pass by value tayo sa kanya. Pinasa natin yung value ng mga variables from the main function papunta kay max function. So, basically, sa exercise ninyo, parang ganun din mangyayari. Diba? Humingi kayo ng values, tapos yung values, ipapasa nyo doon sa inyong operator function, and then i-return yung value. Okay, very, very not efficient actually na exercise yung exercise number 4. Kasi isang line lang naman yung operation. Gagamitin nyo lang naman yung operator pero gumawa pa tayo ng function. Pero at least, I hope ma-appreciate nyo yung modularity ba? Na at least mas organized na. Itong portion na to, it adds two numbers, so on and so forth. Yun naman yung point eh. Point na functions, modularity, tsaka code reusability. Ano pa? Ito. Let's say magkaroon tayo ng ng baguhin na natin to ulit. Gawin natin fxn. Tapos tanggalin na natin yung parameters. Tapos let's say balik lang natin yung divisions. Tapos magkaroon tayo dito ng portion for the global. Pagpalagay natin meron tayo ditong variable x, tapos ang value niya ay 5. Global, pwede rin sabihin natin constants yung mga yan. Kung ipiprint natin si x dito, and at the same time, ipiprint din natin si x dito, pero syempre, kailangan natin tawagin si fxn. You will see na, ayun, twice niyang pinrint si 5. Kasi ang global variables are accessible sa lahat ng functions kasi global siya. Pero ang downside naman is that kung local ang meron ka, syempre for sure, hindi mo mapiprint si x dito. Oops, this is max. Balik ko lang sa max ha. Hindi mo mapiprint si x dyan. Oops. Ayun, hindi mo mapiprint si x dyan kasi x doesn't exist within this function. Kasi x is a local variable of the main function. Ang global variables accessible sa lahat. Pero tawag dito, ang local variables accessible lang sa kung saan siyang function kinay. Okay, I think yun lang naman yung tawag dito maidadagdag ko pagdating sa functions unless may questions kayo para at least for the next 10 minutes pagbigyan natin ito si Lori and at least I can give one more tracing example. Questions? If not about the example, at least about the exam, wala. Meron? Are you sure? Okay. Hello, hello. Hello. Okay. Alright. Okay, sige. Bigay tayo ng isang looping example. Namatay na yata yung ano ko. Okay. Bigay pa tayo ng isa pang looping example. Tracing. Tracing example. One of the things na na-mention ko sa inyong sorry, hindi ko dala tablet ko so hindi ako makapagsulat. One of the problems na pinakita ko sa inyo ay patterns. Okay? Imagine this grid. Imagine yung grid na yan. Tapos, let's say gusto natin gawin yung pattern na to. Sige, yung chessboard na lang. Yung chessboard pattern. Oh, function name at 0x. I don't think nako-call mo ng maayos yung function dyan, Raela. Raela Sharifa. Ano ba yung pangalan? Sharifa. Ah, I think hindi niya na-call or ito lang naisip ko. It's either you are calling, pinangalanan mo yung function mo as a reserved word. Baka kailangan mong baguhin yung function name mo para hindi magkaroon ng conflict or mali yung function call mo. Hindi nagtugma yung function call mo tsaka yung function name mo. Kasi yung 0x, hexadecimal na yan, address yan. So, sinasabi niya sa'yo na located sa ganitong address yung function mo. Okay. Okay, try natin gawin tong chessboard. Yan, salitan. So, anong na-observe nyo sa kanya? Ano observe nyo sa kanya ay ito yung mga may asterisk. 00, 02, 04. Tapos dito naman ay 10, 30. Sorry. 11 pala. 11, 13. Okay. Tapos, ito naman ay 20, 22, 24. And then, next ay, ito ay 31, 33. And then, this is 40, 42, and then 44. So, take note, ito yung row, ito yung columns. So, dito sa ordered pairs natin, the first value is the row, the second value is the column. So, with this in mind, pwede nyong maisip na, okay, kapag si row ay even, di ba? Ibig sabihin, actually, ano pala, kapag si row ay even, dapat si column ay even para mag-print siya ng asterisk. Kapag naman si row ay odd, kailangan maging odd si column para mag-print siya ng asterisk. Else, ang gagawin natin ay, tawag dito, else ang gagawin natin ay, tawag dito, space, yung ipiprint natin. So, pwede tayo ditong i-fix na lang natin, row is equal to 5, col is equal to 5. Tapos, for, tawag dito, and then, mag-while loop tayo. For I na lang pala, in 0 range, 0 to row, tapos for j in 0 to call. Okay. Mag-print lang muna tayo. Print tayo, let's say, ang asterisk. Tapos, dapat, this should end. Ito, pinakita natin to sa start. Lagyan na natin ng space. Then, maglagay tayo ng print dito para magkaroon ng new line after every column. So, ito yung counter natin for the row. Okay? This counter traverses yung mga rows natin. So, pagdating sa ating tracing, ito yung tinatraverse niya. Yan. yung mga rows. While the columns, itong part na to, what it does is it traverses yung columns. So it starts with j is equal to 0, okay? J is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once na matapos yung loop for the columns, okay, magpiprint siya para for the next row, siya ay, tawag dito, siya ay may new line para hindi magkakasunod-sunod yung mga rows natin. Ganyan. Kasi kung tatanggalin natin to, ayan, sunod-sunod siya. So, ang purpose ng print na to is to separate the rows from one another. Okay? Ngayon, okay, tracing. Tracing ang question eh. By the way, malapit na mag-time. Baka mag-extend na naman ako ulit. Okay. As for the tracing part, ganun lang din. I tsaka J. Okay? I tsaka J. Tapos, when I is 0, okay, kakapasok mo lang sa loop nun. I is equal to 0. Kasi, di ba, for I in range, 0 to row, ibig sabihin, ang traversal ni I is from 0 to 4. Hindi kasama si row. Row is equal to 5 kasi, di ba? So, it's from 0 to row minus 1. So, that's from 0 to 4. So, sa unang pasok sa loop natin, the value of I is 0. And then, may encounter nyo na yung code block na to. For J, in range, 0 to call. So, 0 to 5, kasi ang value ni call is 5. So, that would mean ang traversal ni J is from 0 to 4 din. So, for I is equal to 0, pagpasok niya, si J ay 0 sa first traversal ng inner loop natin. So, next, anong mangyayari? I-print daw si asterisk. So, pagpalagay natin yung output natin somewhere nandito sa taas. Diba si output kay, yan, print asterisk. Tapos, i-end sa space. So, ibig sabihin space yung kasunod niyan. Next, magre-reloop. Loop back siya. This time, J is equal to 1. J is equal to 1 na. Pagpalagay natin ito yung output natin, ha? Output, terminal. Terminal output. So, next na mangyayari, J is equal to 1. Okay? Papasok siya sa loob ng inner loop, print asterisk ulit. So, that is asterisk space ulit. Loop back ulit. This time, J is equal to 2. Okay? So, trace. J is equal to 2 na. Pasok siya ulit sa loob ng inner loop, print asterisk ulit. And with a space. Loop back, J is equal to 3 na. Okay? And then, papasok ulit. J is equal to 3. And then, papasok ulit sa ating loop. Print asterisk. Next, ang mangyayari ay loop back, J is equal to 4 na. So, 4. And then, gawin ulit yung inner print, print asterisk. Okay, and then space. Pero, when J is equal to 4, okay, plus plus magiging 5 na si J. Pag check ulit ng range, dito, hindi na siya pasok sa range. Kasi 0 to 4 lang dapat. So, pag 5 ni J, magte-terminate na yung inner loop, ang gagawin na ay magpiprint na siya ng new line. So, dito, may invisible na \n dyan. Kaya pag loop back, okay, ito yung new line, loop back na tayo kay I, magi-increment na yung value ni I. Magiging 1 na siya. And then you will notice, pagpasok niya ulit, re-reset si J. Magsa-start ulit si J sa 0. And then we're going to do everything again. Pero pagdating sa terminal, instead of continuing printing dito, sa part na to, dito na siya magpiprint ulit. And then, tuloy-tuloy na siya. You just repeat what you did kanina. Pero we're here to do the chessboard pattern. And identify natin that if I modulo 2 equal to 0 and j modulo 2 is equal to 0, it means they are both even numbers, saka tayo magpiprint ng ng asterisk. Else, kulang ng elif pala, elif not equal to 0, ibig sabihin they are both, both are even. Okay, ito naman ay both are odd. Else, ang gagawin natin, wala tayong ipiprint. Actually, magpiprint lang tayo ng space. Okay? So, ipa-follow lang natin yung pattern na na-observe natin dito. Okay? Kailan ba tayo nag-print ng asterisk? Kapag both are even numbers o kaya both are odd numbers. Else, hindi tayo magpiprint. Oops. Okay, so, dapat, okay to. Kulang na. Yan. Alright. Nagawa natin yung pattern. So, you don't have to, hindi ka kailangan dumiretso sa computer. You can have your piece of paper. Sorry, mas maganda kung na-demonstrate ko to using a tablet para nakikita ninyo kung paano ako nagsusulat. Pero tinrace lang natin dito. Hinanap natin kung ano yung mga values ng mga counters natin, at saka J, na kung saan nagpiprint siya ng asterisk. And then, yun, in-observe lang natin yung trend. Tapos gumawa tayo ng conditions based on that. Tapos ito yung other tracing ng mga loops natin. Para ma-keep track lang natin yung mga counters natin. Si I at si J, in this instance, sila yung mga counters. Okay? Hindi ko na tinapos yung tracing dito kasi parehas lang naman yung nangyayari. Ang makikita nyo lang naman dito sa part na to ay something similar na ganito. Yan. Tapos, later, magiging na siya. Yan. Hanggang sa this is 4-0 na to. Tapos magra-run pa rin to for 4-0. Pero hindi na siya magra-run kapag 5 na. Okay. Dito na mag-i-end loop sa part nito. Pag nag-5 na si I, end loop na siya. Okay? Now, if you want to do the other looping exercises na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, not kanina, yung pinost ko dito sa ating Google Chat, Google Space, you are free to do them. Kung gusto niyo ipa-check sa akin, pwede niyo rin ipa-check sa akin. Okay? Malay niyo, lumabas sa exam. Joke lang. Okay, I think that's it. Nag-extend na ako ng 4 minutes. Are there any questions? May mga katanungan ba kayo? Yes, Angelo.
Kung gagamitin po yung return and kung required po, ano po yung i-return?
I-return mo yung produkto ng operation. Is it about the exercise? Yung tanong mo? Nakamute ka?
Kasi usually po, yung ginagawa ko na lang po ay print and the regular stuff.
Well, sabi ko nga, depende kasi siya sa kung paano mo gagamitin yung functions. So actually, sa exercise niyo, pwede mo naman talaga siyang i-print kaagad. Walang problema. Kaso, ang panghahawakan ko ay yung specifications. Kasi sabi sa specifications ay each function accepts two floating point numbers and returns the result of the operation. So tama man yung ginawa mo, pero kung hindi yan yung specifications, mamalian ko. I mean, you will not get the full marks. Because it's basically, I'm asking for a circle, you gave me a square. Di ba? Although both are shapes, but I did not ask for a square. I asked for a circle. Gets? So, mag-return ka. Kailangan mo mag-return. Isang value lang naman yung i-return, so hindi siya problema. Okay, na-answer ko ba ang question mo?
Yes po.
Alright. Next question. Meron pa? Okay. Sige, mukhang wala ng question. For next week, since exam ninyo ng Friday, Saturday, sige, mag-ano tayo, Thursday, kung hindi. Baka malito pa kayo eh. Ano kaya? Sige, wag na lang. Wag na muna tayo mag-meet via Zoom. Wag na muna tayo mag-meet via Zoom next week. Focus na lang muna kayo sa, sa exam ninyo. And parang break na lang muna next week. Next week tayo mag-resume. Pero I might hold it early. Kasi ang schedule ko for next week, may investiture si Chancellor ng 30. So, busy nun. And then I have a meeting on 31. I don't want to do it on Friday kasi deadline na yun ng exercise 5. So, you might meet ng Tuesday next week. Ipuput in paper ko na lang sa Google Space natin. Okay? Make sure to review your notes for the exam. Tapos, if you have questions, clarifications, feel free to ask. Majority naman ng questions ay about the exercise. But if you have questions about the terms na nandoon sa mga handouts, kasi syempre, kapag, yun yung mga lalabas eh, yung mga terms, other stuff, how you do it, and ganun basically yung magiging laman ng exam. Basta sabi ko nga kanina, I made sure na ang laman ng exam ay kung ano lang din yung laman ng handout. So, yun, basically. Feel free to ask if you have questions before the exam. Okay? Huwag kayo kabahan. Chill lang. Chill. Isipin nyo na lang, parang nung high school pa kayo, hindi naman, alam pala natin nung high school natin na puro multiple choice yung exam. No? Well, hindi. May mga times naman na match set A from set B. Ganun, di ba? True or false. So, hindi naman natin alam kung anong lalabas. Pero, ah, just know na lahat ay nandoon sa handouts natin. Okay, sige, ang dami ko pa sinasabi. Questions? Sure? Wala na? Next week, ganun pa rin, 10 a.m. sa tawag dito sa Tuesday, next week. So that would be July 29, I think. Yes, Rafael. For the exam ba yan yung tinutukoy mo, Rafael? Hindi. Oh, actually, it's one of the things din na dinedetect ng it's one of the things din na dinedetect ng Proctoring Pro. Pero, iniisip ko kung OA na siya eh, kung pati yun ay itatrack ko pa. So, I think no na. Makikita ko naman sa video kung may kausap kayo eh. Ayun, makikita ko naman sa mga naka-capture. Tsaka, i-list daw niya naman kung may kausap kayo. Kung may initial audio. So, hindi na. Hindi na siguro. Hindi na kailangan ng microphone. Webcam lang. Kung ano lang yung sinabi ko sa Google Space. Okay. Yeah. Rest assured, for next week, topic 1 to, no, topic 1 to 4. Topics 1 to 4 lang. Hanggang kay functions lang tayo. List and strings will be for for the next exam. Pero syempre, we've tackled a bit of strings lang. sa ating basic programming. I think that's topic number 2 or not topic number 2. Yeah, topic number 2. Introduction and topic number 2. So at least yung composition lang ng mga data types natin. Yeah, pero topics number 1 to 4 lang yung coverage ng exam. Okay. I think namatay na yung ano ko, yung earphones ko. So if there are no more questions, good luck next week. Kaya niyo yan. I still have long time pa para mag-review. And ask me some questions. Please do. Please ask me some questions para mas malinaw yung inyong yung preparation ninyo for the exam. Okay, so kung wala nang tanong, bye. Ingat. Happy lunch.
Bye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Alright, thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
po.
everyone. Ingat.
Sir.